Taekook successfully caught the cameraman by surprise. Jungkook suddenly hugged Taehyung from behind during Butter on the second day of BTS's Arlington concert. What got ARMYs so hyped was that Jungkook had actually glanced at Taehyung several times before coming over. His gaze made it look like he was waiting for the perfect moment to approach him. Once he was right behind Taehyung, Jungkook wrapped his arms around him without hesitation. Startled, Taehyung could only smile and let himself sink into the embrace. Even the cameraman capturing the scene seemed taken aback and instantly locked the camera on them. And the second that moment hit the stadium's giant screens, thousands of ARMYs went completely wild. ARMY, welcome back to VKook. Today we've got another exciting update you won't want to miss, so stay tuned until the end. The cameraman was caught by surprise as Jungkook hugged Taehyung from behind during Butter, creating a sweet moment on the second day of BTS's concert in Arlington. The Arlington show once again delivered moments that sent fans into wild cheers. In the middle of performing Butter, the camera's attention suddenly shifted to Taehyung and Jungkook, who had been performing with high energy and thoroughly enjoying themselves on stage. However, an unexpected moment took even the cameraman by surprise. As Taehyung was singing while facing the audience, Jungkook slowly approached him from behind and wrapped both arms around him without any warning. Taehyung looked briefly surprised before breaking into a smile, and the brief moment was instantly captured by the main concert camera. The hug felt entirely spontaneous and warm. Jungkook seemed in no rush to let go as Taehyung continued his line. Taehyung leaned back slightly for a second, looking comfortable in Jungkook's embrace, drawing loud cheers from the crowd in the venue. The camera operator assigned to capture the show appeared caught off guard by the sudden turn of events. Quickly adjusting, the camera maintained a frame that kept both of them together, so the moment would not be missed, projecting their closeness onto the stadium's giant screens within seconds and elevating the atmosphere even further. For Taehyung and Jungkook, the gesture went beyond routine choreography. In this fanfiction narrative, the two are secretly dating amid their busy schedules as BTS members. Because of this, Jungkook's sudden hug prompted a deeply personal smile from Taehyung. Taehyung turned slightly toward Jungkook while Jungkook kept his arms wrapped around him. They shared a brief glance before facing forward again, instantly creating a more intimate vibe on stage while several fans rushed to record the moment on their phones. What made the moment even more captivating was that Jungkook kept singing while holding Taehyung from behind. Taehyung tried to maintain his professionalism by following the rhythm of Butter, but the soft smile on his face made it hard for fans to overlook their closeness. For a few seconds, it seemed as if they forgot that thousands of eyes were watching them. The crowd's cheers grew louder when Jungkook finally loosened his grip slowly. Before stepping away, Jungkook smiled at Taehyung and returned to his position, leaving Taehyung to laugh softly and shake his head in a simple reaction that made the scene even sweeter. The incident quickly became one of the most talked about highlights after the second day ended. Recordings from the stadium screen and fan cams began circulating among fans in this fanfiction story, with many viewing the hug as one of the most romantic surprises of their Arlington performance, especially given how unhesitatingly Jungkook pulled it off. For those attending in person, the event became a memorable highlight of BTS's Arlington concert. Amid the choreography, stage lights, and thousands of ARMYs singing along, Taehyung and Jungkook managed to create a small, deeply personal moment. The hug from behind left many fans smiling and screaming with delight. Day 2 of BTS's Arlington concert concluded with numerous spectacular moments, but Jungkook hugging Taehyung during Butter remained one of the most unforgettable. In this fanfiction universe, the two shared the stage not only as bandmates, but as a loving couple, leaving thousands of armies to witness just how close they truly are. Just seconds before the hug took place, Jungkook had actually glanced toward Taehyung several times. As Butter played on, Jungkook, standing not far away, occasionally watched his partner from the side. Those initial glances passed casually until Jungkook stole a second look. Taehyung remained focused on singing his part while interacting with armies, seemingly unaware that Jungkook was slowly closing the distance from behind while wearing a faint smile. The main camera was still following Taehyung's movements at the time, but as Jungkook stepped directly behind him, the cameraman realized something was about to happen and reframed the shot to capture both in frame. Jungkook stole one last glance at Taehyung before slowly wrapping both arms around him from behind. Feeling the embrace, Taehyung was visibly startled, but his surprise quickly melted into a small smile that drove armies into a frenzy. Remarkably, all of this unfolded while they continued singing Butter. Jungkook showed no signs of nervousness, thoroughly enjoying Taehyung's reaction. Although the hug appeared completely spontaneous, Jungkook's repeated glances seconds earlier made it feel like something he had been contemplating all along. Taehyung bowed his head slightly while smiling, making no attempt to pull away, and instead allowing himself to remain in the embrace for a moment. Under the bright stage lights, the two looked as if they were enjoying a private moment of their own. When the camera finally zoomed in for a close-up, the stadium's main screen displayed Jungkook smiling right behind Taehyung, triggering an even louder reaction from the crowd. Many armies quickly realized that Jungkook had been eyeing Taehyung multiple times before finally making his move. A few seconds later, Jungkook slowly released his hold. Before returning to his spot, he looked at Taehyung from the side once more. Taehyung returned the glance with a subtle smile and faced the audience again as if nothing had happened. For fans following this fanfiction, the sequence of events made the embrace feel all the more special, not just because Jungkook hugged Taehyung from behind, but because of the charged glances that preceded it, as if Jungkook was waiting for the perfect second to express his affection. The moment remained a major topic of conversation long after the second night in Arlington wrapped up. From the initial glances to the quiet smiles and the eventual hug caught on camera, everything took place in a matter of seconds. Yet, for the armies watching live, those fleeting seconds felt much longer. That night, it may have taken Jungkook only a moment to decide to move closer, but those preliminary glances turned the entire event into an even more romantic memory. Amid thousands of spectators and the brilliant Arlington stage lights, the two seemed to find a small space of their own to show how much they care for one another. Leave your positive comments here. The best comment will be pinned as a way to honor their love. Thank you to everyone who continues to support this channel. May God reward all of your kindness. This video reflects my personal opinion and interpretation. It is made for entertainment purposes only and does not represent confirmed facts.